here in Arizona. It's pretty hot. My project is working on my Chrysler Towne and Country. My wife's been complaining that it's not complaining, but what we notice is when we're going slow, she let me know the first time, it starts jumping around. Now, when I look at the rotors and stuff, they look pretty good. Like a lot of, still got a lot of metal on them, so they don't need to be taken down. It's hot already, dude. So, see the tire. It's a Towne and Country 2014. I am going to remove this tire and then get to the brakes. The plan replace them with new rotors and brakes on both sides because I'm pretty sure that's what's creating the jumpiness. The rotors and the brake pads don't match as far as how it's braking. I've bled the brakes already before. I actually put new pads, and I think maybe the possible cause is because I didn't mill down the rotors the first time. It finally caught up to it, so they're no good. And I've seen some other video trends where this YouTubers who have put out that this was a common problem. So my plan is to show a demonstration of removing the tires, changing the caliper. This is for educational purpose only. Understand, as a disclaimer, brakes are very dangerous, and if you don't know what you're doing, you need to watch videos, read, understand what bleeding means, understanding that this could cause a severe but almost fatal injury, and that with all discretion, this is just for educational purpose, not use it as a complete tool if you are inexperienced. And if you have some experience, change the brakes. Hopefully you take it seriously. You understand that not knowing how to bleed the brakes and the process that you go from, furthest from the master cylinder to the back to the front. So always furthest out, usually passenger side, then driver side, passenger side, driver side, left front, left rear, right rear, front left, front, right rear. I apologize for that. This is the real thing. I'm not professional setting or anything. This is just as my house. I'm doing this for the safety of my family, for the longevity of my car, and the reason why I did this to begin with, became a mechanic, was my mom was single. She never had a man. She never had anybody that was able to take care of her, and I knew that I myself, how poor we were, could not afford a fixed car. So if you're out there and you want a little bit better understanding, I hope you can watch my video, like, please follow, share. I want to get more involved in showing some of the experiences that I'm having, just personal issues with cars, and not directly related to the industry. I get seems like there's a lot of good mechanics out there now, but I think for the DIY guys, you need to understand that they don't see you as a professional. They just see you as some guy that might be out there not knowing what they're doing, guy or girl. And sometimes that's the case, but you got to also don't set yourself up for failure, and try to do things so you won't make mistakes, so it won't cost you money, because that's the biggest thing, is you're trying to save money and also gain some experience or knowledge. So let's say you buy back your time and you don't want to do the work, you want to pay somebody else to do it, but you at least have an understanding of what you asked for is actually what you received, and you're not just paying for somebody to do something for you that they're not actually doing. I think that's a big problem also.